everyone. Today I am joined by Michael and Rachel from Infinity Works. My name is Alice and I am the head of careers over at Manchester and Leeds Codes. Michael and Rachel are going to be telling you all about Infinity Works and their academy. So I'm going to hand over to you guys.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Yes, we're from Infinity Works. My name's Rachel. I am the Academy Coordinator. So I've actually started only in December myself, so I'm a bit of a newbie, but I basically support our Academy Manager in the setting up of the academies, the sort of day-to-day back office running of the academies. And I'm also joined by the lovely Michael.
Yes. Hi, thank you everybody for coming to see us. My name is Michael Woodhead. I'm the lead Academy instructor for product. A fancy title, but basically we deliver a T-shaped curriculum involving tech and consultancy skills. And my job is to basically help curate that material and help to deliver it as well.
So I've put together a few slides just to keep it exciting. So I'm just going to share my screen quickly, just tell you a little bit more information about Infinity Works, a little bit more information about the Academy, and then obviously if anybody's got any questions, please do let us know. So hopefully you can all see this. So Infinity Works, it was founded back in 2014 by effectively 4 mates. So as an overarching sort of description of Infinity Works, we are a tech consultancy. So we basically help clients with their technological problems. So I've just put some stats in here just about the company. So quite exciting. We've just hit over 600 members of staff, which is awesome. And that's over 6 office locations. So our headquarters is in Leeds, but we also have London, we've got Manchester and Edinburgh, and quite recently we've also got offices in Birmingham and Glasgow, which is really exciting. So we're a big company. We've got 28 current clients, but that is obviously changing constantly. We've had some really exciting wins with Doc Martens and ITV recently. And last year, quite excitingly, we were acquired by a company called Accenture, who are a global company and they provide IT services and consultancy. And they were just basically super interested in what we can offer in terms of our cloud capabilities, but also with the Academy. So already we've seen Accenture sort of picking our brains as to our capabilities, the program that we've created, the knowledge base that we've created, and how they can utilize that too. So that's really, really amazing. But just as a sort of overview of what Infinity Works do, so we look at digital transformation. So that is helping organizations unlock the value in doing things digitally, basically. So an app that would work better, a website that isn't providing value to its customers. So we sort of aid with that. And then, as I mentioned, the cloud capabilities. So helping companies either move to the cloud or providing solutions that help companies make the most out of their cloud capabilities. Then we have full stack engineering. So Infinity Works is built on our ability to write code. So that is helping make complex software solutions across the full stack, basically. And then lastly, data. So we know data, it's everywhere, it is everything. So, and it's so important that businesses make the best use out of data. So we help unlock that business value of data through data pipelines, processing data, understanding data. And that brings me to the Academy, which we're here to chat about today. So the Academy started back in 2016. And not only does it provide candidates with the full spectrum set of skills and knowledge to become an associate consultant with us, they are also full-time employed from the moment they start studying with us right through until moving on to a client. So the Academy is really exciting. When I got my job here, I was so excited about it because I just think it provides such an amazing opportunity for somebody that maybe thinks that they can't get into tech because maybe they don't have the degree. But actually, as long as you've got that basic level of learning and you've got that passion, you can join the Academy and join us. So we went back from 2016, just running a single Academy. This year, we have just started January today. We've got March, May and September, as well as, like Michael mentioned, the Product Analyst Academies as well, running concurrently. We've seen over 100 alumni. Some of those alumni are either still with us today, which is amazing, or they've gone on to tech careers elsewhere where we've been able to provide them with that foundation of learning, which is amazing. And then, so the Academy is a 12-week program. The first half teaches you that sort of broad range of skills. It covers technical foundations, it covers consultancy skills. And then the second half, we unleash you onto your team project, which basically gives you the chance to apply those skills that you've learned and work on a project in real time, which is really valuable. And it just allows you to very quickly apply your skills, which I think is really exciting. And that's basically how the Academy is set up. So that is my tiny presentation. I didn't want to bore you too much with that, but that is the sort of the general overview of Infinity Works and the Academy. If anybody has any questions or they want to know a little bit more about anything.
Hi, I thought I'd pop back in and talk through some questions that have been sent in by people who couldn't make it. So what's the starting salary for somebody that would be joining the Academy?
So starting salary depends on the office location. So Leeds is 28,000, and I think the highest is London, obviously, and that's 30,500.
Great, cool. And at the moment, are you office-based? Are you working remotely, or how are you doing that?
So when the Academy very first started, it was all taught in person, which is obviously ideal. And then we moved, when COVID started happening, to a hybrid model. So how that worked was just one day in the week in the office, which again, it works really well. It just allows people to obviously meet up and just socialize in person, which is so much more fun. Currently, we're running the January Academy solely remotely just because of restrictions. But we are so keen to get that back to a hybrid model as soon as we can, as soon as it's safe to do so.
Yeah. I think as well for juniors, it's quite nice being in an office and being around people and being able to ask those questions firsthand and not feel like you're pestering someone constantly.
And like I had that, like I said, I started at the start of December, and I think it's been very strange starting a job during a pandemic, and you do feel like you are, asking a lot of questions. But I think, that's the benefit of being able to be in the office. And like I said, we are moving back to that as soon as it's safe to do so.
It is worth pointing out as well. So when I first joined the Academy as an instructor, before I became a permanent member of staff, I took part in the first fully remote Academy that we ran. This was literally a year ago. It was the January 2021 cohort. They were 100% remote. And we are continuously having face-to-face chats and conversations. There's other applications that we use in terms of keeping that social aspect going. And by no way does it really deter the kind of sense of family that you get with the people that are on your course. You all become very intimately close, good friends. I know a lot of friendships have been made on the Academy, and that kind of really adds to the Infinity Works kind of persona. Is we are very much a kind of family-first organization. Can be a little cliche to hear that sometimes, but genuinely, we have colleagues who have had personal crises who reach out to us on the work Slack over holiday periods, for example, and we're there to help. We're there to chat and have a listen with people. We're very much a case of we look after each other first and foremost as individuals, and we've made sure that we reflect that with our Academy. We teach that we hire people based on their who they are, not necessarily a case of the person with the highest score always wins. We are looking for people who fit with us, culturally, from multiple backgrounds, and it's very much a case of the fact that we are currently stuck in remote should not be a problem to anybody looking to join us. You'll be very much finding a home with us, and hopefully then, yes, we can get you back into the office. We usually do meet up in the Leeds office in the headquarters, because that's where a lot of the Academy are, and there's a DPD van just pulled up outside. So I'm just going to go for just a second. I've got a dog on
Okay, thanks, Michael.
But we usually meet up once a week in headquarters. But I think what Michael said, it definitely speaks to the whole culture of Infinity Works. I think that's one of the things that, as a new starter myself, I've been blown away by. Yes, we're in a pandemic, and yes, we can't be together, and yes, this is, there's 200 people in the Leeds office who are all working from home, and yet you've got Slack channels where people are posting pictures of the cats, which I obviously love because I'm a crazy cat person. But you've got Slack channels there's Slack channels about coffee. I know people are huge coffee drinkers. You just feel there's always a conversation going on, and it's always easy to jump in and just chat to people. I didn't know anyone, but my thought process was, I'll just get in as many conversations as I can and people respond, and it's just, and I know prior to me starting, there were so many things that Infinity Works were doing to just keep up morale and keep up that sense of family, even during the pandemic, which was awesome. So yeah, I think the culture of the Academy speaks to the culture of Infinity Works as a whole.
Great. So we've had a couple of questions sent in. I've had some more sent in as well on Slack. So Jonathan has asked, what is the tech stack covered in the first half of the Academy? So I don't know, that's a
I'm
question.
gonna let Michael take the
Michael, yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yes,
That's okay.
Great question. So tech stack covered wise, we predominantly are quite flexible depending upon what our clients need. At the moment, there's been a huge demand for JavaScript, so we look at JavaScript in terms of full stack. We also use AWS and leverage that towards our sort of deployment area, as well as using things like React as part of our front end frameworks that we use.
Great, thank you. Abdi has asked, what's the level of expectation that is required? So they're finishing their course in March and they've learned a lot, but they don't believe they're an expert coder, although I don't think anyone's an expert coder. I think most people have always got a lot more to learn, so don't beat yourself down, Abdi. But what is the general expectation for somebody that's coming in to Infinity Works on the Academy?
So I think Rachel covered it earlier, which is, we're looking for someone really with a passion and a drive. We're not necessarily expecting someone to come in who is an expert on any of those technologies that I just mentioned. We're really looking for someone who's kind of shown that this is something they want to do. This isn't passionate for them. They will have attended, maybe certain organizations like yourself, got involved, done online certs and training things, and actually shown that they've tried to explore that because this is something they're really passionate about.
Okay.
Just simply by doing that, it shows us that they're serious about this. So we're willing to then invest in them and get them on. So don't worry, we do train you up. We don't necessarily train everybody up from scratch. We do want you to have done some sort of courses, e-learning, or attended some sort of sessions on this. But we're definitely not looking for anybody who's an established coder. This is very much a case of we're looking to help someone career change.
I think it speaks to what you said earlier as well, Michael, about us treating everybody in the Academy as an individual and their individual merit, because we don't go through CVs and tick off, they've done this, this, and this. It is
like how many years of this have they done on? Yeah,
exactly. And it's the experience, it's the individual. So I think you shouldn't ever be afraid to apply, really, because what we see in you, it isn't set in stone. It's not black and white.
Great, cool, thank you. And what about back-end languages? Do you look for anything specifically in that? That's a question I suppose, Stu.
Again, we're not necessarily looking for people to have that, but in terms of the back-end stack, we do utilize things like SQL and NoSQL and a few other different bits and pieces. We actually look at a few different technologies, but again, people go out there and exploring what's available and trying to show that, that's the thing. They might already have jobs, they might already have careers, and this is stuff they might have been looking at in their personal time. Really shows that commitment of them wanting this change.
Great, cool. And Maggie has asked about an initial tech test. So I guess it'd be quite good if you could just talk us through the interview process as a whole, like from start to finish, and how people would sort of get in contact with you.
Yeah, so Michael will be able to, I think, give a bit more information on the tech test itself, but from the sort of timeline, you apply to us with a CV and a cover letter, and we also have 3 questions within our application which aren't tech heavy at all. It's more to just get us an idea of how you think and how you respond to questions like that. So from that point, we obviously review CVs, at which point we also send out the tech test. Michael, can you pick up there for me?
I can. Obviously, without necessarily giving away too many spoilers, what the test is really kind of driving at, it's not a case of, we want someone to build a website and then submit it to a given specification. There are questions that are basically designed to kind of tease out your logical thought processes and how you approach problem solving. So there might be typical questions of, here's a list of numbers using a programming language of your choice. Can you arrange these in numerical order? That kind of traditional, it's almost like a traditional coding question, but it's really not designed to challenge their depth of knowledge in a given programming language, but just how they approach a problem, how they choose to try and solve it.
And then from there, we have our assessment days. So we'll be running those at the end of the month for the March Academy. So the assessment is a presentation, and that can be of anything, absolutely anything you want. It's just 10 minutes. We've had, what did we have last time, Michael? We had somebody that did it on fell running, somebody that did it on their favourite mobile game. I believe we've had a trombone session.
Yeah, basically someone who was classically trained musician actually came and gave us a rendition of his trombone, gave us background on the instrument, where it came from, what it came to be. It literally is anything of your choice. We've had people come in, do it on particular, programming things, technical things, their forever framework that they use and why they like it. It's just 10 minutes on a topic of your choice. My personal would probably say something like Star Trek, sci-fi, something that satisfies my nerd tendencies.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just 10 minutes. And then after that, we have a bit of a Q&A session. So the Q&A session, apologies for my cat, who wants to be a star.
Mine's outside my door really meowing.
Yeah, we have a bit of a Q&A session. So a series of questions just to sort, again, pull out how people think. And it's not just on tech things. So there is also things on sort of teamwork and how you perceive teamwork and things like that. So it's just something for us to sort of eke out who you are and how you think.
Yeah, and that's really important for us is that who are you as an individual? And again, that then allows us to see, okay, are you someone who, likes other people? Are you an introvert, extra? We just want to know who you are, how you think, what your thought process are. It's not a grilling. It's purely like it's just a chat, really.
Yeah, cool. And I think that's sort of the way to go with it, isn't it? And I think a lot of people do enter tech tests and feel like everything has to be right. And I try and get that across to them. But it's more about how you explain what you're trying to do, and your thought process is what they're looking for. So that's nice to hear that reiterated. Jonathan has asked, what kind of projects have previous cohorts completed? So I imagine what sort of work that you do on the academy.
Really good question. So that tends to be coming around when we do our group projects. So the way the course has been broken down, as Rachel has said, the first 6 weeks are all about, here's an introduction to JavaScript, into all the different tech stacks and how we want you to operate and raise your abilities. The first 6 weeks, we do what we call like a mini project, which is like a self-run. So everybody does a project themselves, but they're allowed to support each other and talk to each other and help each other. And that might be on things like little simple web games. So it could be like noughts and crosses. And then we come into the final 6 weeks, which is where that's where the meat and potatoes are. That's the group project, and we've had all sorts. It's generally a case of the academy staff all get together and start brainstorming on cool things. Maybe the particular vibe of the group that we end up with has a particular flavor towards something. Back in January 21 with the remote, it was all about pets, because everybody's got pets. I've got a little Jack Russell. We've got cats. We've got people who've got cats and dogs. So we did pets-based games. So in groups of however many people there's going to be with the subsequent academies, I think there's 15 plus. So you might be in groups of 5. You're then tasked with delivering something that might be orientated to a game, a website, a function, something where it's basically you would work as you would do on a client, but it's in a safe environment. So there's room for people to ask questions and to grow, which there is on clients as well. But it's definitely a much more holistic environment where we would then act as product owners and kind of task you with doing things. Maybe we might change requirements, maybe we might not, to give you an idea of what it's like to work in a team, because some people might not have come from a previous job role where they were in teams.
Great, cool. That's really good to know. Actually, I like that you do that. You asked. This is just a question from me as well. So we have some people that do the course and they love tech and they love software engineering, but they think maybe a role as a developer probably might not be for them. And you said something earlier about a product analyst boot camp. I don't know if you want to just give me a quick, because I'm sure there's people that would be interested in that as well.
This is kind of a very recent thing. So we've got to the point where we mentioned that we'd been bought up by Accenture, and one of the things they really liked about us was our academy. And with that investment from them, we've been able to basically grow and adapt and kind of looking at what opportunities we offer internally to our clients in terms of what skills sets we can fulfill. And we've got to the point now where we actually have the capacity of internal knowledge and resource to actually do and deliver non-technical people. So it's a very umbrella kind of phrase at the moment. We're using the term product analyst because they're not really product owners. They're not really business analysts. They're not really delivery. They could also be designers. They could be UI, UX designers or user researchers. There's a whole parameter of different roles out there that aren't coding, but might involve, learning some specialist stuff. So we've actually put together an entire curriculum based around those particular agile concepts, delivery techniques, consultancy skills. And it's something we've actually started to kick off. We start our second version of this in February. We have another one planned in for June. Trying to remember all these dates in my head. So that's something else that we're starting to look at offering now towards people who would be looking for career changes as well. So it's exactly the same sort of format. It's 8 weeks, not 12, but it follows on the same principle of you've got some time where you are learning new skills, and then the last 6 weeks you actually conjoin with our technical academy in terms of those teams that I mentioned, the group projects, to deliver work and actually act as you were a delivery team if you were on any other client. So that's something we're really excited about.
Yeah, no, that's really good. I think there's going to be a lot more of those sort of coming up in the next few years. So it's nice that you've sort of picked a lot of people to the post there, because we've got a lot of people, well, not a lot, but we get the odd person that loves tech but just feels like maybe that's not the right. They want to be more a delivery based role. They want to be talking to people, and so that's a really good offering. So I've had some questions sent in. So somebody's asked if they wanted to focus on cloud technology, is there an opportunity to do that? That's what you do at the moment.
Yeah, so what we've tried to do at the moment is I used the phrase T-shaped earlier. That's usually used in a sense of kind of being, technical and non-technical, so consultancy skills. But in reality, that actually applies to any of the domains. If you were to zoom in a bit further, tech-wise, you'd also be T-shaped. So you'd have some cloud knowledge, some front end, some back end, some middleware, and you'll learn a little bit about each of these to build up your foundational knowledge, your background context that you can start to apply things to. If you have a passion for something that you really enjoy, say for example, the cloud stuff, you really enjoy that above and beyond everything else, it's still really helpful for you to have that same foundation skills that we teach. And then when you go out to clients, you can start to request that you go into a client that maybe does a bit more cloud stuff. And therefore you might get the opportunity to learn more about that. And we have internal communities at IW as well, which we really try and champion that focus on different areas. So you've automatically got a room full of 60, 70, 80 people who've got years worth of experience in that domain that you want to specialize in. So you can talk to them. What's a really good read? What's a really good, way of picking up these new skills? And therefore you can actually specialize. We want to give everybody the foundation, but it's up to you to pick a specialization if you want to. And therefore you've got avenues to go and go as deep as you want into those.
Great. Cool, thank you. I don't know if anybody who is watching has any other questions. I think I've answered all the ones that I got sent in on the ones that I wanted to ask. So I guess it'd be good just to recap again, Rachel, I'm sorry, of the dates that you're going to be onboarding.
Yes, for the March Academy. Yeah, so for the March Academy, it's a little bit of a tight timeline. So applications in by this Friday, the 14th. Now, like I said, that is just the initial application. So that would be an up-to-date CV and cover letter. And then there's just 3 questions on the website to answer as well. And we kind of go from there. So that's by Friday. Then we'll get the tech tests out from that point, and we'll be looking to run our assessment days on the 25th and the 27th. So I think we usually put the assessment day slots in. I think it's usually for an hour and a half. It doesn't always take that long. Sometimes it's more towards sort of an hour. It just kind of depends if people have questions and stuff like that. So the big day is this Friday, the 14th, for your applications, and then assessments at the end of the month.
Great, cool. And just for people watching who might not be graduating until a couple of months, when will you be looking again to sort of hire people?
So we'll be opening our May, June and September academies pretty soon. I think the onus was obviously on focusing on March for now, but I expect in the next probably couple of weeks for the May academy. But I can definitely confirm that and let you know, Alice, in case you need to.
That's great, thank you. And how many people do you bring onto the academies then? Or like how many do you aim for?
So we've got, in the January academy we're running that started today, we've got 15 people on that. And then Michael's got 3 people on his product analyst academy. I think we ran, was the September one about 22 people, Michael? And that was one of our bigger academies.
Yeah, we're kind of learning from that we don't necessarily want to be bringing through 20 plus every single time, because obviously it dilutes the amount of associates to trainees that we can offer. So we want to kind of keep them a bit smaller than that now. So
okay, great. And just another question in from Cora, just said, what are the working hours? I imagine this would be a full-time job. So
yeah, so from the moment you come on with us an academy, you're effectively a full-time employee. So I think the hours we run for the academy is 9:30 till 5:30. Within the academy, there is obviously some free time and some free slots. It's not always that it's sort of all day you've got stuff going on.
Yeah.
Sometimes there are some free periods or some sort of, doing your projects or something like that. So, but treat it like a full-time job effectively.
Okay. Great, cool. I don't know if anyone has any other questions, but I'm sure it's been really helpful. So applications in by this Friday if you're looking to start in March. So what I'll do is I'll post all the details. I'll post this video and I'll post all the details of how you need to apply. Rachel is going to be in our Slack group shortly, so I'm sure if you have any questions you can probably ask a couple to her.
Fire them over.
And I'll send the link for you all to apply. But thank you so much, Rachel and Michael. It's been really informative.
Thank you for having me.
Great. Yeah, it's really nice speaking to you both. Yeah, thank you so much and enjoy the rest of your day, everyone. Thank you. Thanks.
Bye.